A mother and her small child were hurt when a bear ripped open their tent while they were sleeping. This happened over the weekend at Elkmont Campground in Gatlinburg. Park rangers say a family of 5 was sleeping in their tent with their dog when a black bear ripped into the tent right around 5 a.m. After getting inside the tent, the bear scratched a 3-year-old girl and her mother. Rangers say the father was able to scare the bear off out of the tent. They say the bear exhibited, quote, extreme food condition behavior and lack of fear of humans. Not a great combination. The bear was caught by park rangers and euthanized.
My name is Rhonda Wise. I am the lead education ranger on the North Carolina side of Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and occasionally I fill in and work with the public affairs officer with the public distribution of information as the public information officer. And I have been with the Smokies. I started at the Smokies 2013 as an intern, worked at Lyndon B. Johnson for a little bit, and come back to the Smokies because it's home. So I've been here off and on for about 6 years.
Thank you so much for joining me today, and we can go ahead and get started. I think a lot of what's going on in the Smokies in relation to how people are interacting with wildlife is likely a matter of education. You know, they kind of see it as a theme park almost when they come into the national park, and some maybe have never had the experience, and it's exciting to them like a zoo, but that's not what we're dealing with. But could you just give us a brief recap of what happened at the Elkmont Campground on Sunday morning?
Yeah, of course. At approximately 5:20, it was reported that a bear ripped into a family's campsite and into their tent. The family was eventually able to chase off the bear by aversion tactics of making themselves large and yelling at it. It was hesitant to leave, but it did finally leave. The family left a note on the kiosk at the campground for the rangers. The rangers were notified approximately 8:50 of the incident. After they left the note, they did go to seek medical attention. The mother and the daughter had superficial lacerations around their head. They went to seek medical treatment, and the rangers then once they were notified at 8:50, they arrived on site to investigate. They immediately closed the area, continuing to keep it closed throughout the night to monitor and try to capture the animal that came into the campground that night.
Super scary experience, and as many pointed out, some people's first instinct is to blame the folks that were camping there, but this is something that takes place long before that moment, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. The bear, they actually did the next night. Our wildlife biologist set up a trap and monitored the trap in the evening. The bear came back to the exact same campsite. They did capture the bear. The bear was a 350-pound male. At this time of year, when food is scarce, a bear does not become 350 pounds without having been acclimated to having human food. Unnatural sources. So yes, this was not a single event. That bear had been food conditioned and had eaten human food before.
So what are some things that people can start doing now to prevent this kind of thing from happening in the future?
Right. This type of thing, it takes the whole community. It takes all of the visitors. It takes the Park Service. It takes, even when we think about our communities outside of the Park Service, because the bears they don't know where the boundaries are. And so they can go from out into the communities and back into the park within one evening. And so it's our responsibility and our mission to try to help educate folks to realize that they are in bear country, making sure that you properly throw away your food within the campgrounds or within the picnic areas. We have bear-proof receptacles for your trash. Pick up any trash that you may have left out, and that's just in the campground. The picnic areas. In the campgrounds, if you're camping, whether it's front country or back country, make sure that you're storing your food from several miles away. And so in the evening, when you're getting ready to go to bed, You want to make sure that all of your food is put away in sealed containers and then locked inside your vehicles or either in bear-proof containers. If you're in the backcountry, we've got the hanging bear food, the trolley systems, the hanging food to keep your food away and off of the ground.
Yeah.
So we've got means both in the front country and in the back country to make sure that they cannot get at food. Interestingly, though, that a lot of people don't think about things like their dog food if they are camping in the front country and they have their pets with them, or they don't think about even lip gloss or chapstick that has a smell or a berry smell or some sort of honey smell. Those things can attract bears as well.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much. And I know a big thing is leaving things in your car as well that can attract the bear, leaving it unlocked because they've become accustomed to just getting into a car. A lot of work has been done as far as bear proofing dumpsters and trash cans and different things over the years. But what would you say from a visitor perspective, what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they come across a bear, whether it's at Cades Cove or wherever it is? What are some of the bigger mistakes they make?
I think it's just keeping your distance, realizing that the bears are wild. The bear and the elk, all of the animals here are wild, though they may seem docile and friendly. They are wild and they will react as a wild animal if you get within their boundaries. And so you want to make sure that you stay for the animals that we're seeing on the roadside. 50 yards is the recommended safe distance from them. So just make sure that you're staying near your car if it's roadside. If you're driving by and can't stay, the recommended 50 yards, make sure you stay in your vehicle. Make sure you give them plenty of space. Realize that this is their home and we're the visitors.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a consequence, right? So not just your safety, but the safety of the bear. So bears, unfortunately, do have to be euthanized in circumstances where it's clear that they're beyond that point where they can't be rehabilitated. What are the circumstances where a bear will have to be put down?
Well, each one of these situations are going to be analyzed by our wildlife biologists on a case-by-case basis. And they do look for the bear's behavior. This bear in particular came right back to the very same site that it was before. It was not wary of humans being around. Even once it was captured, it seemed to be very comfortable and not afraid of humans. And so each case is case by case. And it really comes down to when a bear is no longer afraid of humans, then it becomes a safety issue. And so if they're going to come back, if this bear is going to come back, we have to make sure that the public safety is first and foremost. And so it would be under those bears that have become food conditioned and no longer have a fear of human beings and can't be deterred by aversion tactics.
Right. Yeah, I know there's been relocation and different things attempted, right. and in some cases it does certainly help, and the bear goes on to lead the rest of their life the way bears do. So,
yes. And that's the aversion tactics are the things that would be first, and then relocation. And so that euthanization is definitely the last case or the last management tool or management practice that we like to, and it's not taken lightly. The decision is never made lightly.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. I'm sure that no one wants to have to make, and we as both visitors and folks who live in the community can all do our part to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future, and that decision doesn't have to be made. If people want more information or want to further educate themselves on bear safety, where can they go?
They can go to our website. If you Google grsm.gov, you can go to our website. I can actually link it to you. It's in the news release. And there's also a local community that we work group that it's a community effort. It's called Bearwise, and it helps the local communities to learn how to, at your own home, how do I need to handle trash, and how do I need to make sure that I am keeping, doing my part on my property outside of the park to make sure that we don't have bear that get into our trash and still stay wild.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
just make sure that everybody realizes this is bear country, and goes in, recreates responsibly, and have a great time, and making sure that they're making sure that they are taking into consideration everything that's around them.
Well, thank you so much for being so accommodating and taking time out of your day to
Absolutely, Bob. It's really all about, trying to make sure that we care for all of the resources. This is not, these incidences are sad and tragic to everybody involved. And so I really think that, as long as we're working together, community, I'm happy to assist and help get the word out.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.